Good day, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk, the Todd Worsham Show. Welcome, everybody. So, today we're going to do a little bit of thinking and some common sense stuff. I feel like having fun today. But at any rate, one of the topics I want to talk about is green energy and fossil fuels, one versus the other, and so maybe some other alternatives, and just look at things through a common sense view, maybe uh, break things down and kind of just look at things and are we doing the right thing? I don't know. At any rate, and then well, if we have time and things are going on, we're going to get into some other weird subjects. Lately, a lot of my research is taking me into resonance healing, basically healing the body by sound. And I've come across some really cool research, some really good information that I think you would all benefit from. I'm probably going to start doing some of these things, and I actually know somebody right now who is actually doing this, and it is really helping them. So I would like to share that with you, and let's go. Let's get moving on. So the green energy deal, or the new Green Deal, in my opinion, from the research I've done and what I've learned, uh, battery operated cars are definitely not the way to go. Um, I don't know if we will ever have, that's what I want to use, if we'll ever really have the technology and batteries to make EV cars efficient. It's not so much the cars themselves, but it's the manufacturing process that really disturbs me. Um, for all you that know me, I'm a big Mother Earth fan. I believe in Mother Earth, and I do not believe in destroying her. I believe she gives us everything that we need. It's all right here for us, and I'm not into destroying the planet. I'm not into polluting. I'm not into a lot of that stuff. But yes, I do drive a big F-150, and I do have a hybrid. So, like the whole rest of my life, I'm a contradiction. Just joking. But at any rate, so pros and cons. Well, first of all, let's dwell into the IC, the internal combustion engine. Probably the greatest invention that man has ever come up with. And I really don't see an electric vehicle taking that over unless we make some huge changes that I'll talk about here in a minute. But I don't think the governments will do it. I don't believe. I don't know if we'll get there. Not in my lifetime, anyways. But so far, right now, I believe that the internal combustion engine, the IC, is definitely the only way to go. And the reason why I say that is because we don't need fossil fuels to power an IC. It's not needed. It's not required. And no, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I know some of these things by personal experience. Back in the late 80s, I had a good friend of mine who took a Volkswagen, put water in the fuel tank, ran the fuel tank to another tank, electrified it, separated the molecules, and injected the hydrogen straight into the motor. It ran clean. It ran powerful. And the only pollution that came, well, it's not even pollution. The only byproduct that came out of the vehicle was condensation. It dripped water out of the tailpipe. But now this is going to sound like conspiracy to y'all. The black SUV showed up at his house. This was after he tried to go to Sacramento and what's the word? He tried to get an experimental permit for the car, and I believe it was about a week later. The men in black showed up, and that was the end of that. They gave him choices and he chose, and he's still alive as far as I know. I mean, I haven't talked to him in a while, but I had a really good relationship with this person. We saw each other probably almost on a daily basis for a while, long while. He was an electrical engineer, very smart individual, and he knew that IC engines did not need fossil fuels to run, and he knew this. So he took it on his own to do this, and it worked. I mean, we drove. It was a little Volkswagen Bug. We drove all over Big Bear in it. It blew me away because he picked me up and he says, I gotta fuel up my car. So instead of going into the pump, we went over to I don't know if they still have them anymore, but back in those days, you had where you got air, put air in your tires, and next to that there was a water pump for your radiator. And so we pulled over there. He opened up the hood, took off the gas cap, and I didn't really think nothing of it at first. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, what the hell? He's putting water in the gas tank? And then he closes everything up, hops back in the car, and we take off. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, Dean, what the hell did you just do? He goes, I put gas in the car. I said, dude, that was water. He goes, I know. That's the gas. And we putted all around Big Bear for hours. And I'm just like, how in the hell did you do that? He goes, it's easy. He goes, you just electrify the water to separate the molecules, and you inject the hydrogen. And it burns 100%. And the only byproduct is water, is condensation. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. No, you're going to be dead. The oil companies won't let you do this. And I hate to admit it, but I was right. Government wouldn't let them do it. So here we are. I believe that was I want to say it was like 1989, maybe 1990, somewhere around in there. And here we are, 2024. And Toyota is now releasing a hydrogen IC motor, and we're looking at anywhere from 78 to 150 miles per gallon with absolutely no pollution. Now, you might still need some fossil products for maybe the grease and the oil and stuff like that, but I don't think you'll even need that because most cars, I know Chevrolets run all off of synthetic oils right now. So Ford still doesn't. I'm lucky. My truck doesn't require that. It's an option. I can put either or in. I can put a synthetic blend in, or I believe I can put a full synthetic, or I can put oil. And because oil's cheaper, I just put oil in it. I don't really care. I mainly just drive the truck for the boat, and when I want to go on my exploration field trips and stuff like that. So let's just take, the number one selling EV car out there, which is a Tesla. Products are that are needed to build that car. A lot of them come from China. So that takes jobs away from us. And I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I believe the lithium is mined in Africa. And I'm not really sure on that. It might be China, but I don't think so. I want to say it's in Africa, but I could be wrong on that. So don't quote me. I didn't get into that. I didn't get into that part of the research. I just know that it's really bad. Kills a lot of people. It's really detrimental to your health. It's bad stuff. And I'm sure that some of you people have actually seen the, I want to say it was last year sometime, that ship that had all those Teslas on it that caught on fire. Actually, I'm not sure if they were Teslas, but they were EVs. And the ship caught on fire outside the harbor, and it sat there and burnt, I think, for 2 to 3 months because there's no way to put the fire out. Once lithium ignites, it stays. It stays. It's done. You can't put it out. We don't have the technology to put the fire out. So now we've just dumped thousands of tons of pollution into the air, and in that circumstance, in that instance, we put a bunch of poison in the ocean. So that's real good green care there. That's real good. So not really sure. I really like that road. Now, as of right now, I'm going to go with an internal combustion engine. I think it's the best for the planet. There's several different fuels we can run. I believe ammonia is another fuel. I think it's ammonia glycol or something like that. There's alcohol. And in my opinion, the biggest one, and I've been saying this for years, ever since my buddy Dean showed me it was reality, was hydrogen. And I do believe that there are some countries over in Europe that have been doing this for I believe a while. And I want to say like Switzerland or somewhere over in there, that area. I believe that they actually have hydrogen fuel stations. Now, if I remember correctly on the research I did, I believe the Toyota is going to be a plug and play. They came out with the idea of hydrogen cylinders. So it's really cool because you just go to the back of the car and you just, it's like nuclear power, fusion things or whatever. You just like turn them and pull them out, and they're cartridges. And then you would probably kind of like just changing a butane tank, for your barbecue. You pull it out, you go down to Walmart, you go to the cage, you put your old one in there, you pay your money, and you get a new one back, and then you hook up to your barbecue. Well, it's kind of the same way, I believe, with the Toyotas. They got their cartridges, you pull them out, you submit them, and then you pay, and then you grab, how many cartridges you need. So I believe that this is really, truly the way to go. If we did this, it would cut down pollution probably, I would say 20 to 30% almost instantaneously. And it would, and not only that, but the really cool thing is, and like I said, because I know this for a fact, because I lived it, it's not that difficult to convert your gas motor to a hydrogen motor, to where you can put water in the fuel tank. And as a matter of fact, most vehicles, because I know my truck, it has a plastic Teflon or whatever. It's a non-metallic fuel tank. I know that it's not metallic, so it won't rust. So if you put water in it, it's not going to rust. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get anything in your system. And I don't see any reason why you can't just why we can't start selling conversion kits and move over to the water. So now the other thing that probably some people are going to say, well, Todd, a lot of the country, lives in drought. We have shortages. Well, yeah. So my answer to that is, hello, we have this technology called desalinization. And we have these two big bodies of water called the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. And according to the climate people, the oceans are rising. Wow. So we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. We can legitimately manufacture desalinization plants. We can take the water from the ocean, convert it into fresh water, desalinize it, and then convert it into, hydrogen. And when we do that, I don't know if we'll be actually taking enough water from the ocean to actually do anything, but it's just a thought. Let's, like I said in the beginning, we're just thinking out loud here. But honestly, think about this. It would solve a lot of issues. And the car manufacturers, it really wouldn't change anything. I mean, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and everybody would just keep building cars just like they are right now. Detroit would be happy. Mexico would be happy. I don't know if they still have plants in Ohio, but I don't know if Chevy's still in Ohio, but if they are, Ohio would be happy. Caterpillar, everybody, And it just doesn't make any sense to do this. And then the oil companies, if they were smart, I know if I owned an oil company, I would be investing and doing research and development into this side of the economy and this side of business, and looking how we can take Exxon and Mobil and take all these oil companies and slowly just start moving them over to other things. So, because I mean, there's still a lot of things that are made from petroleum, like tires and whatnot. And in my honest opinion, that needs to go away. I believe we have technology in synthetic rubbers and in carbon fiber, and we have all these. I mean, Jesus, we can put rovers on the Mars, but we can't build a car that is efficient. I mean, head scratcher. Doo-doo. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I believe that we could and we should do this. I really believe it. And not only that, but it won't cost our society a whole bunch of money to do this. The conversion would be fairly simple. In some ways, it would create more jobs, because you would need jobs for the desalination plants. You'd need jobs for people to produce the hydrogen, people to deliver the hydrogen. And if all the vehicles either ran off hydrogen or ammonia, I think it's ammonia glycol. Don't quote me on that, because I don't remember the chemical. But I know there's several options that they're looking at. And unfortunately, Toyota is the front runner of all this. And I believe followed by Ford, which kind of irritates me, because Ford's usually in the past has always been the forerunner. And I don't like that we're not, because I'm Ford through the bone. Found on road dead. Oh, first on race day for off-road driving. But so yeah, I'm a huge Ford supporter. I love their art, research, and development. I love the direction that they go. In case you didn't know this, they were the only car manufacturer in the United States that did not take our money. That's a fact, Jack. They reorganized. They saw things coming, and they did not take any money. They did not get a government bailout. Ping, Ford. But so yeah, so I think that's the real way we really need to go. And now the EV cars, man, I don't know if I have enough time in the show for this, because I really wanted to get to the sound healing. I'm gonna have to save that for another episode, I think, maybe, because I do know of a way that we can have electric cars without batteries. And I'll give you a little teaser, because I'll probably do a special on him, because he's like my superhero. Is Nikola Tesla. The guy was just unbelievably, I don't know. The guy was just unbelievable. And I don't even know if I can do a half an hour show on him with the things that he created and the way that he could have changed the whole world. If the government would have listened to Nikola and embraced his theories and his vision, this world right now would be completely different. It would be, I believe it would be almost a utopia with his visions. But anyway, so I'll have to do more extensive research, because I know things, but I'll have to get brushed up on my information and my facts and stuff like that. But I'll do a special on Tesla, and then we'll kind of tie that into the EV cars, because with Tesla's inventions, there's actually a way where EV will work without batteries. Stay tuned. All right, so EV versus IC internal combustion. I'm going to take internal combustion all day right now. I actually have a hybrid and I love it. And it makes me feel good because I feel like I'm doing both things. But again, you have the lithium batteries, which I'm not a fan of, and I don't like them. And I think they're evil. No, but um, I do, and I like it, and I'm proud of it, I guess. And of course, it's a Ford. um, so yeah, that's that. I think IC's wins on that. So, and our technology is getting. Also, I don't know if any of you know this in the United States, but the average diesel in England gets around 70 miles to the gallon. And that's probably why their gas is about a third higher than ours, maybe even half as much higher. I believe they're paying like $9 a liter or something like that, or that's not $9 a liter. It's probably like $3 a liter. It takes almost 3 liters for a gallon, so puts it right around $7-8 a gallon. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you do the math and you break it all down, it's really about the same thing that we're paying. But the big difference is their diesels are it's called clean diesel. So they've learned how to filter out the pollutants, and they've learned how to do things to make them clean diesels. And why we don't do that here is beyond me. I mean, but we're going to get into some more episodes later on about other things that I don't understand why we don't do. Cure. I'm not going to get into it right now, but cancer is another thing that I really got to talk about. It's really irritating me. But anyway, so running out of time. So second half of the show, sound healing. So y'all know that I'm a conspiracy freak. No, just joking. Y'all know that I'm into ancient archaeology, and I think I've stated it a million times. My ancient archaeology is taking me down spiritual routes and is taking me down all these roads that the ancients used. Well, one of the big things that they used was resonance, sound, and they used it for a lot of things, anti-gravitational, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But one of the big things they used it for was for healing. So I've been doing a little bit of research on this lately, and I didn't know this, but there has been scientists and universities and whatnot, entities, for probably the last, I want to say probably late 70s, early 80s, that have been studying this. And I don't understand why we've been studying it for so long and why we haven't been implementing it. It's baffling. But at any rate, I think I know why. But then it gets into more conspiracy theory like big pharma and la 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 la. So I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I just look at things as a common sense. Why, if we have things that work and we know things that work and we know how to do things a different way that aren't detrimental to our bodies and onto our planet, why aren't we doing them? I just don't get it. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't go down that road. I'm not in a division. I believe in our Constitution, so it's got nothing to do with politics with me. I freaking hate politics. Can't stand it. Although I'm a politic junkie. I just got to keep up on the latest lies. So sound healing. So this is proven, and pretty much every day they're proving it more and more. Our bodies, oh, this is so cool. Every cell in our body creates a different frequency. And what happens is, like, when we get cancer or we get sick, or our body starts doing things, not good, or, we get sick or whatever. What happens is those cells, they get out of frequency for whatever reason. I mean, I could do a whole show on reasonings, but not going to go there today. So let's take cancers for example. So cancer is, it's in all of our bodies. We have it. It's there, and things that we do can activate it or not activate it. Well, they're finding out that by using certain frequencies, they can actually turn off those cells. Not so much destroy it, because everybody talks about destroying cancer. Well, that's not the key. The key isn't to destroy things. The key is to turn things on and off like a switch. Boop, boop. And we now have the technology to do this. I was watching some programs and reading some literature on healing kidneys and livers. And we're actually at the point right now where, as long as the liver's not dead, completely dead, and it's still in a condition that it's functioning to a certain degree, with certain hertz, certain sounds, we can actually take that organ and revive it and rebuild it and regenerate it to function properly. It's mind-blowing, the things that I've learned in the last, I don't know, just a few weeks. But I mean, I've known this for a while, because anybody that really, really knows me, I always talk about resonance healing. I always talk about sound. And I've always told everybody that this is always going to be the way of healing the future. Big pharma needs to go away. They're doing nothing but killing us with chemicals. That's 100 years from now, that's going to look like the dark ages to people. 100 years from now, they're going to look back at us and say, what the fuck were those people doing? What were they thinking? Why would you load someone's body up full of all these harmful chemicals and expect someone to get healthy? It's just, it's insanity. So let's take the COVID, for example. We know that through resonance, through sound, we can actually take that little virus and crush it, get rid of it. We can kick it out of the body. We can turn it off, so it does nothing. It can still be there, but it won't do anything. It'll be completely turned off, because of everything. And this isn't just in our bodies. This is trees. This is bees. This is the ocean, water. Everything in the universe maintains a frequency. It's mind-blowing. And by tapping into these frequencies, we can manipulate and or change the matter. We can actually change the material things. We can make things happen. We can change things. Like, for example, we can take a liver that's failing, and by doing sound therapy and introducing the correct frequency to the liver, we can repair it and bring it back to health. Same thing with the pancreas. So as we're moving along, we're learning the frequencies of all these organs. And this isn't like some science fiction crap. This is real. This is already happening. And actually, if you want to get technical, it's been happening for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Back in Egypt, they have this place called the Healing Temple. And the way that the Healing Temple is designed, it's designed acoustically. So what the priest would do, like, you went in there, you were ailing, and the priest would do certain sounds, and it would start healing your body. Maybe a broken bone, or maybe, a bad thyroid, or whatever, you're ailing. These frequencies, when you're being bombarded by these frequencies, they naturally heal your body by retuning those organs or that part of your body that needs to be retuned. Because that's basically what happens. Basically, when something like that fails, that organ or that part of your body is not in tune anymore. It's out of tune. It's kind of like, a guitar. You're sitting there, ding, 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 you're playing, and all of a sudden, ding, and you're like, oh shit, I need to tune that, right? Well, what do? You tune it up. You get back to your sharp, your E or your F or whatever, your G, and you're back to, playing some good music. Well, it's the same in your body. It's the same in everything. Everything produces some type of sound or frequency. It's a frequency, which is actually a sound, but it's a frequency, and that's how the whole universe operates. It operates in spiral motion and on frequencies. And this is, fortunately, this is just, it's starting to get more and more popular. Homeopathic medicine, I know for a fact, is getting more and more popular. Biotuning, I don't know if you've ever heard of biotuning. If you've never heard of it, I highly suggest you look into it. It's a really phenomenal way to get your body's frequencies back into tune and to heal yourself mentally, psychologically, physically, and it works. I can testify that it works. I know this for a fact. I know people doing it. So it does work. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting for someone to finish up their stuff, and then I'm probably going to go see the person that they're seeing, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I believe in this stuff. And this is not just proven on a homeopathic level. This is actually proven on a scientific level. So basically, spirituality and science are actually starting to come together, which is really, really cool. And it needs to happen. And we all need to open our minds up and understand, that life is more than what we think it is. And that medications and drugs are not the way to heal ourselves on any level. Depression, anything, nothing. It's all about frequencies, and we just need to get our frequencies. And what's really cool is this is so simple and so easy. Love, the best frequency you can have. Be happy, be thankful, be humble, be open-minded, and intake everything that the world has to offer you. Explore everything the world has to offer you. Live your life. Don't get caught in this work slavery entrapment, where you get up, you go to work, and you come home, you sit on the freaking couch, and you don't do anything. That's enslavement. Don't do that. That's not our job. Our job here on this earth is to experience things. It's to live our lives. It's to grasp all that we can and awaken ourselves for the next journey. So wake up and be happy. And I think when you do that, you'll just find that things will just start working for you better. Doesn't mean you're going to be rich and wealthy and famous and all that kind of stuff, because that has nothing to do with life. Life is about experiences. It's about meeting people, talking to people, going outdoors, doing things. Life is a journey. It's an experience. So experience it. Anyway, y'all, kind of went over a little bit again. So make sure you join me next Thursday. I'm only saying that because someone brought it up to me that I never tell anybody when the next episode's coming out. So episodes are every Thursday. They come out every Thursday. So tune in next Thursday for the next episode. And I'm hoping I'm going to have a special guest coming on here real soon. And I think you'll be real excited. He's really cool, really full of energy, and I think it's going to boost up the show. And I think a lot of good things are going to happen. I have really good energy about this, the next level of my podcast here, next level of the show. So, anyway, stay tuned. Join me Thursday, and thank you for joining my journey. And have a great day. And remember, sound heals.